Hello YouTube viewers and my friends. In this video I am going to analyze one of popular openings in chess, that is Berlin-Vienna hybrid variation. If you compose Berlin and Vienna opening, you will get the hybrid variation. So there is no restriction to learn about this opening from beginners to advanced level players. So this opening is very classic and dynamic, often occurs in many games and your future games too. So what I am going to teach here is, I am not only suggesting best moves, besides that I would explain mistakes and blunders which were occurred in my past games. So a good chess player not only aware of best and brilliant moves, he should also aware of inaccurate moves, mistakes and blunders. I mean, you should be very perceptive. Most of high rated players like grandmasters, they likely to do same thing, so they'll mostly learn from the mistakes. That's why they achieve highest rating. So I am here to make you stronger in competitions, and you may feel very comfortable when you face same lines that would be occurred in your upcoming games. Once you have gone through my analysis, you can predict your opponent moves earlier, then you will execute plans without taking much time. So in rapid and bullet games, you have to move very quickly. So you should be lightning fast. You always keep one hand near to the clock to switch the turns immediately. So once you have to learn strategies and tactics through my videos, you get much clarity. You should understand how to tackle your opponent's strategies without any confusion. Let us start the session. Here my opponent start with e4. I played e5. It is quite obvious, so not allowing him to much control on center. Here my opponent start with bishop to c4. I replied knight to c6. He played knight to c3. Then I moved my knight to f6. This is a opening line of Berlin-Vienna hybrid variation. So here he played pawn to d3 and I played h6, preventing him to play this dark square bishop to g5 square. You might have seen those chess games. White can annoy this knight. It is very difficult to move away from this position. So here my opponent also played pawn to h3. Now I played d5 to attack this pawn and bishop. Here my opponent captured the pawn and I played knight to b4. So there are two pieces attacking this pawn. Here my opponent played bishop to d2. Then I captured the pawn. He played queen to f3. Now three pieces are attacking this bishop. Those are two minor pieces and the queen. So this knight only protected by two pieces from my side. So here I have to defend this knight in logical way. I place my light square bishop to e6 square to defend this knight, and he played knight to e2. I played last minor piece development, that is bishop to c5. Here my opponent played bishop to e3. So this is not a logical move because initially he moved bishop here. Now he moved bishop to e3 square. So there are two moves. Obviously he lost tempo here. His plan is trying to exchange these dark square bishops. Now I protect this bishop by playing queen to d6 square. Here my opponent captured this knight and I recaptured with my knight, and he captured the bishop and I recaptured with my queen. After all these transactions, he castled on king side and I castled on my queen side. So here he played a3. Idea is to push the pawn two steps forward and attacking the queen. Now I played pawn to g5. He moved the pawn b4 anyway. I retrieved the queen to e7 square. He played b5. Now I want to stop this pawn by playing this knight to b6 square. He captured the bishop and I recaptured with my queen, and he played queen to g4, trying to exchange the queens. So if I play any random move, he can simply exchange the queens and make the crippled pawns. Here I have to respond very accurately. So then I played pawn to f5, declining the exchange and blocking the diagonal, and he moved his queen to b4 square. Then I played pawn to f4. He played a4. Then I played knight to d5, attacking this queen. He moved his queen to a5 square. This is a mistake. I give you a few seconds. Can you find a good move here? So I hope you find this move, pawn to f3. It is attacking the knight on this pawn. If knight moves anywhere, so if my knight moves g3 square, now I capture the pawn and he recapture with his king. Now I play this move, knight to f4. So it is not only giving check to the king, it is also attacking the pawn if king moves here, and now I can simply capture the pawn, and this is a deadly checkmate attack. White cannot escape from this checkmate attack. So there is no option for white. That would have happened if knight moves. The only forceful reply from white is white has to capture this pawn. Black can capture h3 pawn, and later I can play f4 and making checkmate threat. That is one line. In the game I played queen to b6, trying to exchange the queens, but my opponent denied this exchange and he played queen to d2 square, and I played a5. He captured the pawn with n-cent. So what is n-cent? If you play move pawn from initial position by 2 steps, if the opponent pawn besides the new position, so the opponent can capture like this. This is called n-cent. So that was happened in the game. I recaptured with my queen, and he played c4 attacking my knight. I drop it back my knight to f6 square. He played knight to c3. Now I played pawn to e4. Right now he cannot capture the pawn because this pawn is protecting this queen. If he foolishly capture this pawn, then I can capture this. He cannot capture this by knight. I can simply capture with my knight. This pawn cannot capture. That's why he played rook to e1, attacking the pawn with 2 pieces. So I captured the pawn with my rook, attacking the queen straight away. So he played queen to b2 square. Now I captured the pawn. It leads to a losing a material. How? Now he can capture this pawn. Right now I cannot capture with my knight because this knight protecting this rook in the corner. If I foolishly capture this knight, he simply captured the rook in the corner. So that's why queen cross c4 is a blunder move. In the game, he didn't capitalize that mistake and he played rook to b1. So the best move is rook capture this knight. But in the game, I played queen cross c3. He captured b7 pawn and gave check to my king. Now I played c7. If I play d8, this leads losing material. How? So he can give this check, and if king moves d7 or e7 square, he can capture the rook in the corner. Here I played king to d7 square and he played b5 plus. I move my king to e6 square, and again he gave me check. King moves f5. He played rook to b5 plus, and I move to the king g6 square. Here he captured pawn. First time it looks very logical. So this knight cannot capture this rook because this knight right now pin. So the queen is stopping this knight to move. So here again I give you a few seconds. Can you find an amazing move or winning move of this game? Pause the video and find that move. So that is queen to c1 plus. It is giving check to the king, and king has only square left, that is king to h2. Now I played rook to d1, creating a checkmate threat. It is a huge problem for defending this checkmate attack for white. So here my opponent played one ridiculous move, that is rook capture g5. Of course he wants to extend the game for a couple of seconds. I simply captured with my pawn and he played pawn to g4. Now I can take this pawn by using n-cent, but in the game I played rook to h1 plus and he moved to g2 square. Now I played g1 plus. So why not f1? So f1 square is looking by this queen. So that's why I played this move. He moved to the queen to f3 square. I captured the pawn, again giving check to the king, and king moves to e2 square. Did you spot it? Yes. Queen to e1 plus. Checkmate. I hope you enjoy this video. So if you have any doubt, post the query in comment box. Follow my channel for future updates.